Well, first and foremost, Coach, congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much.
Second of all, I know this had to have been a wild weekend.
Yes.
Walk me through from the point you got the news to you sitting down here Monday afternoon.
Well, obviously, messages, texts, the whole nine, phone calls, Instagram, Twitter, all of that was kind of going out of control. But, I think for us, with my family, immediate family, we were, excited once we did receive the news. Now, I will say I do owe a lot of people some phone calls back, some text messages back, because I haven't had the opportunity to respond to everyone. But ultimately, I will. And it's really, really soon.
There are two folks I know a lot of people would want to know if you've gotten a call or a text from yet. Have you heard from Coach Simmons?
What?
Have you heard from Coach Andrews?
I have heard from Coach Simmons. We actually were speaking at this. He was at the Duke Clemson basketball game, and I called him. Just wanted to thank him. He had already posted on Instagram, but I wanted just to make sure that I called him and thanked him for giving me the opportunity. I will reach out to Coach Andrews. Him and I were playing some phone tag over the last couple days, but I will definitely make sure I call Coach Andrews as well.
It's so clear throughout these last couple seasons, throughout the time not only that you've been here, but throughout Coach Simmons' tenure before, throughout this last month, how much this coaching staff cares about that locker room, and that locker room cares about this coaching staff.
Well, immensely, right? At the end of the day, right, when we got back after, the Celebration Bowl and we're getting ourselves ready for the spring semester, we had a team meeting January 6th, and there was a couple guys that were unsure, but, in our team meeting, I made sure the guys understand that, hey, we're going to control what we can control. We still have to make sure we maintain our strength in the locker, in the weight room. Also, while maintaining and get stronger. We had to make sure we took care of our academics, making sure we started strong, in the beginning of the semester, and ultimately, lastly, just making sure we're being good citizens, right? So, control we could control, and again, not just myself, but also the other coaches and on the coaching staff. We just making sure that we were there for the guys, like we would be there anyway, right? Regardless of what was going on, who was going to get it, who was interviewing, we wanted to make sure that we were taking care of our guys on a daily basis.
And now that you've had that chance to talk to the team knows it. How excited is everybody to run it back?
Great. Everyone's excited. Repeat, reload. I'm getting all type of hashtags. But ultimately, let's just make sure we win the day. If we can take care of what we need to take care of on a daily basis, we'll be in a good spot, hopefully at the end of the season.
You've got a really unique resume as far as the Big Bend and South Georgia, because there's a lot of folks who have FAMU or Valdosta State, or Florida State and FAMU, or Florida State and Val. You've got all three of our NCAA teams in our area. You've got the boxes ticked. Just between the Rattlers now, the Noles and the Blazers then, just how much has this area become a part of?
Well, I was just speaking to one of the coaches at the University of Miami. They came here to visit, and then obviously Mario Cristobal is going to be here for a couple of days, right? You can't speak in volumes as far as how much Coach Bowden did, for the Tallahassee area. When I was here, Coach Joe was the head football coach here at Florida A&M. So, ultimately, when Florida State and FAMU and you got South Georgia and the Big Bend area, when everyone's doing well, it's a great city. It's a great city to be a part of, a great city to be in. So, I think that, when you look at the recruiting landscape, there's some really, really good players, right? And they can't all go to Miami, they can't all go to Florida, and they can't all go to Florida State. So as long as we're doing what we need to be doing on the recruiting side, we should be in good shape.
You kind of took one of my next questions right out of my. No, that means you're on the right track. So, you guys have done such a phenomenal job here at FAMU, especially of keeping local kids local, letting guys know that FAMU is a place that can get you where you need to go. How important is that going to continue to be moving forward?
Well, it's extremely important, right? Some of our best players are from here, right? And we, as a staff, we know that. You get a chance to not just get the player, you get the family, right? They get a chance to watch their family members play on a weekly basis. So it's again Lincoln, Godby, Colquitt County, Lowndes County, all of those schools we still regularly visit, and hopefully we can continue to bring those same type of players to our university.
Obviously there's a lot of excited folks that this thing's going to keep rolling, that you guys are going to be able to run it back. Just how important is it going to be to continue to meet with players, continue to meet with coaches, and figure out just how many guys are going to be able to still be on this team?
Well, we haven't lost many. We were still able to sign 8 to 10 guys from the portal and some really, really good players that'll hopefully, plug some major holes of guys that, that left, in 2023. But my job is, I know everyone's going to talk about the expectations, but I think my job is to make sure that we understand how important it is to win the day. Let's just go 1-0 for the day. If we win today and then win tomorrow, ultimately we'll be a very, very good football team. So I got to make sure we're going to have the expectations. We already know we're going to be we're going to get every team's best shot. But if we can just take it day by day, I think we'll be in a good shape.
Staff-wise, how much movement are you anticipating, and how quickly are you hoping, if there are pieces that need to get filled, you can get that done?
Well, believe it or not, the last 36 hours, I kind of let our staff be. I took some time to be with my family. I knew that they were going to see me on the phone every single day. Every single minute or hour of the day. I just kind of wanted to make sure that as a staff, they now know that I am the head football coach. So I think everyone's in a good headspace right now. I sent a message to them last night, letting them know I have not forgotten about them. I still care very much for them, and then I would see them later on today after all of this ends.
Signing day quickly approaching. Like you said, you were in Miami over the weekend recruiting. Just how much are you hoping to get out of signing day? How on track are you guys right now?
Well, obviously if we would have had, the first 20, 25 days as a staff doing everything that we needed to do. But, we're going to finish strong. I'm going to head to the Kansas JUCOs tomorrow. I'll be there for the rest of the week. Our offensive line coach, he's going to head to Texas. So, we're still doing what we need to do as far as making sure we bring in the right pieces, right? So we do have some holes that we're still trying to fill. If we don't get it for signing day, we'll ultimately work on trying to make sure we take care of that before the spring semester ends with maybe some transfer portal guys.
Coach, we've talked so much about continuity, and I know it's something that everyone's excited about, but how important is it for you now as the head coach here at Florida A&M to be your own man and bring your own taste and flair to this job while obviously keeping what's going?
Well, I think it's extremely important, but I also have to understand what worked. While I was an assistant here. So, there are going to be a couple things that maybe I might put my thumbprint on, but ultimately, right, we have some guys that have been here for 3-4 years, right? So, and have had success in everything that they've done. So, for me, yes, we'll do a couple things different, but ultimately, if we can finish 12-1 and play for the Celebration Bowl like we did this past year and then win the Celebration Bowl, I don't think I need to change much, but yes, there will be some changes.
Overall, as much as this area has become a part of you, it's impossible to look at your coaching resume and not know that our neighbors to the north are a big part of it as well.
Yes.
I'm kind of interested, as a guy getting his first shot head coaching, FCS, NCAA, how do you feel like your time in Canada has influenced you as a coach where it may not have influenced others?
Well, I think ultimately I was still leading young men. Right, so obviously being a head coach in Canada for 6 years, different type of players, different types of athletes. We were playing against different types of teams, but I was able to grow young men, right? Being able to raise young men, being able to mold young men, and I think that doesn't change no matter whether I'm the head coach or whether I was the defensive back coach here. So I think for us, getting a second chance at this opportunity, you live and learn on some of the things that you maybe would have done differently in Canada. Well, now I get that chance to maybe do some things differently. So again, it is about leading young men, and ultimately, as a head coach, that's what I think I need to do.
I know it's been crazy busy. I know it's been a whirlwind. I know you're going to do this. You're going to go right back on the road recruiting. But have you given yourself a chance to think after week 0, after the game in Atlanta, South Carolina State comes to Bragg Memorial, you're going to be sitting in that tunnel, and you're going to hear Joe Bullard's voice introduce you as the head coach of the Rattler football team taking Ken Riley Field. Has that even sunk in? Have you even given yourself a second to think about that?
Not yet until you just said it, and I got chills on my back while you were mentioning it. But again, this is a big time job. Across the country. I had a couple of people that recognized me just in the airport today, right? And they knew once they heard my name and they saw me. So again, I can't wait to take the field. But as I said earlier, I got to make sure we take care of our guys, and then make sure we handle Norfolk State before I can even think about worrying about South Carolina State.
Before we wrap up, we were actually talking a little before this interview started. I think it's perfect because I wanted to ask this at the end. You were recruited by Coach Leonard Hamilton to play basketball at Miami.
Yes.
Back in the 90s. You ended up saying no, coming to Florida State. winning a title with Coach Bowden, of course, working for the Blazers, working in Canada, working at West Georgia. You've had so many great credits throughout, not just our country, but North America. That kid that said yes to coming to Tallahassee 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Did he ever think that this day would be possible, that this day would happen?
Well, you know, I've been coaching college football since 1999, so hopefully, you know, the goal has always been to one day become a Division I football coach. You know, would I have thought it was going to be at Florida A&M? No. But, you know, now thinking back and seeing what it is, I still wouldn't change it for anything in the world. It's extremely honored to be the 19th football head coach here at Florida A&M. And we've got some things that we still need to make sure that we're getting better with so we can have the season that we need to have. But, you know, I would not change it for the world because of the journey that I've taken.
Coach Colzie, anything I missed that you wanted to add? I'll give you the last word.
I'm fine. Thanks for having me.
The 19th head coach in FAMU history, James Colzie.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.